Hi, welcome to the video. Today I've just got a new phone holder for my Honda PCX. This is the latest model Honda PCX 2022 and I've gone with the Orcas phone holder from Amazon. I've been really impressed with these in the past. This is a brand new model that has vibration absorbers and wireless charging. It's got a solid aluminium body which is really sturdy, and it's got a big green charging light on the front which looks so futuristic. Absolutely love it. Here I'm going to show you how I fitted it onto my new model Honda PCX. Thank you. Opening the box, you'll find that there's lots of different fitting pieces for lots of different bikes, and everything that I needed for the Honda PCX fitments was inside the box, so that's a great start. First, we're going to disconnect the battery. Always good to be safe. When you've undone the wire, it will want to spring back into place and touch the terminal, so I just put a piece of cardboard in between the terminal and the wire as well. And then we don't want that seat to close down fully, so I've put a neck tube over the mechanism catch so that it couldn't lock into place. Now we just need to decide where we're going to fit it on the PCX, and I'm going to go right in the middle there. You can just fit this phone holder in a few minutes. You don't have to do all the wiring. If you're going to do all the wiring, it can take a few hours. If you want to fit just the phone holder in a few minutes and then use the glove box wiring inside the PCX, you can do that as well. You just feed your wire out of the glove box and put it straight into your phone, and then you've got your corded charging then as well. But I'm going to do this for wireless charging, so as soon as you put your phone on there, it'll start charging it. All these bits were inside the box. Personal choice where you want to mount it, and it can swivel, 360 degree swivel on this. Solid aluminium body on that unit, fully adjustable. It's got the anti-theft mechanism on it as well, so you get a special key with that. And there we go, that's all fitted. You can have it wherever you want it. Like I say, it can swivel around. You can have it horizontal, portrait. I like to have it horizontal for when I'm using it as the sat-nav. So there's three things that need to come off the PCX. There's this white front panel, and then the screen, and then the cover that's just behind both of those two as well. And the hardest one by far is this first white panel. It's held on by these two screws here, and then it's clipped into place as well. So you need to first of all take these two screws out. They're posi drives. And then you just need to raise the whole lot away from the body slightly, and up at the top of it you'll see there's two little locating lugs that we need to just prise out. Got to be very careful with these panels because they are only thin. So there's one of the lugs, we've prized that out. And then there's the same on the other side as well. There we go. And now we need to try and pull all of this in front of the bike and downwards, like down towards the front wheel, because it's held on by three more lugs now. It's not just the clips that we've unclipped it from, but there's some lugs there as well. And panels are never easy to remove. This is the hardest part. But there we go, pops off eventually. And then we're going to take the screen off. I think this were a 10mm that I'm using there at the top, two of those. And then lower down, I think it was the Allen key. That's them two off. Be careful that you keep the rubber washers safe as well, because there's some rubber washers there that'll fall on the floor if you're not careful. And these are the Allen keys, two of those. So that was 4 in total that hold the screen on. And then that'll lift off. Oh yeah, now we've got these little push those in. These fitments, there's quite a few of these. I think there were 6 in total, I can't remember. Just push the centres down These are quite easy to take off actually. Just pushing the centres down, and that means that they're undone then. It'll just lift off once you've done those. You'll need to be aware of where you're pulling it out from, because you do have to put all this back together again, so maybe take a picture of it, see where it fits in at the top, and that'll mean that you'll be able to put it back in double quick time, because you'll know where it has to go. I think I'm taking all those out now that I've undone them. Yeah. Take those out, and then the screen will come off. And this will give you access then to the accessory wiring loom, which I think is for the maybe for the heated grips if you got those from Honda. What you can do with those is just push those centre parts back out, and they'll be ready then for when you come to refitting, because when it comes to refitting, you just push them back so that they're flush again. Simple little clips, very handy. And now that just means that we need to take this cover off. It should come off very easy. This cover and the screen both come off very easy, like I say. It's just that white panel at the beginning that's a difficult piece. That was a little washer that I dropped earlier. Right. Nice and neat in there. The wiring loom is clipped into place. And it's just there on the left hand side, the plug, with nothing else going into it. It's got two little lugs underneath, one of them aiming to the front of the bike and one of them aiming to the back of the bike. First of all, it looks like I'm going to feed the wiring through. This is a wiring that came with the phone holder, and what I've got is a really long tie wrap, and I'm just going to sellotape the wiring onto the front of the tie wrap and then feed the whole tie wrap through, because it's a bit more sturdy than just the loose wiring, and it'll just make getting that wire from the handlebars to the front of the bike here much easier. That will plug into the wiring loom of the phone holder. And now we're just going to pull the wire all the way through. Leave a few inches of flex. When you turn the handlebars, it'll yank on the wire. So if there wants to be enough wire there, but it's not being stressed. So leave a few inches, don't pull it really tight. Then we're going to remove this plug. I think this is just an accessory loom plug that you can use if you buy the heated grips. They're an optional extra. This has got about 6 wires going into it, and you'll see 2 of them are green and blue, and they're the ones that we need. The plain green one is a ground, and the blue, it's actually got a white tracer on it as well, so it's like a blue and white wire. That's the accessory live. That means that when you switch the bike on, that becomes live, but when the bike's turned off, it's off. That's the one that we need, because we don't want it draining the battery or just being live 100% of the time. We only want it to be live when we turn the bike on. Now comes the fun part, soldering the 2 wires together. The live and the earth from the wiring that came with the phone holder to the live and the earth on the Honda PCX. Green is the ground and blue is the live. And then once you've soldered these 2 together, make sure that they're fully taped back up, nice and safe with insulating tape, and push the plug back into its position on the bike so that it doesn't move around. And then we get to put all these parts back onto the bike. As you're locating lugs on the underneath of that white panel, the screen, don't over tighten the screen. You should have noticed it was quite loose when you undid it. And yeah, you just want to put it back to the same kind of level as everything was when you were taking it off, when you're putting it back together again. Here goes that cover, tucks into the top up there, and then we'll push those 6 clips back in, and when all 6 are in, we'll push the centres downwards, which makes it nice and sturdy again so it won't lift back off. Oh, Halloween decorations are coming out. We're in October when we're filming this. And on goes the screen. Like I've might have mentioned already, don't over tighten this. You don't want to end up cracking it. Finger tight at first and then just a little more of a turn just to give it a nip. It's got the rubber washers on as well, don't forget those. And these are the Allen key ones that go lower down, 2 of those. Remember when you're tightening things up like this, where there's multiple ones, there's 4 on this one, you should never just put one in and tighten it fully up. You should always put all 4 in first, quite loose, and then slowly tighten them all up. And that's the best way of doing it. Keeping all 4 fairly loose and gradually going around each 4 of them, tightening them all up. And then we fit the white panel. Honda never make these things easy. When I fitted the rear rack, the white panel to come off there at the rear, that was also tricky, just like this front panel was. And getting it back on's not great. You've got those 3 locating lugs that you've got to slide it up onto, and then you've got the 2 little locating lugs at the top of the arms that you've got to push into the top of the bike. And yeah, for a beginner like me, it can be quite awkward. And it'll take a little bit longer than what it would someone that is used to doing these. But you'll get there, just like I'll get there. Pushing it up, clipping it into place. And when we have done that, it'll be the 2 screws. And that's the job done. It'll all be fully fitted once those 2 screws are back in. Time for the test ride. I can talk about test ride now while I'm doing this, while you're watching. I absolutely love it. It's got this big green light on. Some people might not like it, might say that it puts you off your indicators, but it doesn't. It reminds you, keeps telling me, green light, look down, make sure that your indicators are off. I mean, 99% of the time we do turn his indicators off, but there can always be that one odd time. Anyway, if you don't like that green light, you just push the power button and it turns itself off. Perhaps if you've not got your phone in. If your phone in, it's fine. I only use my phone on the bike for GPS, so most of the time just commuting to work, I don't use the phone holder for my phone. It's just there, it's lit up. Sometimes I turn it off, sometimes I turn it on. When my phone was in, it was super sturdy. I went around some quite demanding roads, over some speed bumps, went on the motorway, did a full speed run, and it performed brilliantly, just like I expected. Really happy with it. Oh, looks like we're putting the battery back together again now. And we've got to set the alarm. Yeah, so I push that button there and that'll make the keyless work again. Now we'll give it a quick try. Push it in. Lights up, wireless charging. Perfect. I mean, there's nothing more convenient than just walking up to your bike, shoving your phone in, and it just charging straight away. No wasting with wires. That's for vibration dampening. That's the new feature on this newer model. I just love that. Just love it. You can just push it in and it just starts charging. No wires. my road test, like I say, that's that big green light. I think it looks fantastic. But you can turn it off if you don't like it. Just press the centre button on the motorway here using the GPS satellite tracking. Perfect. And then on the night time, it's that green light again. Centre button turns it off. Look how boring it looks now though. Available on Amazon. That's the model that I've got there. Fits a whole number of phones, a whole number of bikes, fully adjustable. Absolutely impressed with it. I hope this video helps show you how to fit it onto the Honda PCX.